What's going on, everybody? Back again. It's good for you to see me and hear me. Got a couple things that I guess run across the news today, across the old Twitter feed or Facebook news page you want to talk about. I like to get right into it. First of all, thank you guys for joining. Uh, if you're watching it live, hey, comment. If you're watching it on a replay, you can still comment. Let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe, follow the channel, listen to the podcast. Basically, I'm just going to talk about a little bit of stuff that's been in the news. And first thing is what I want to do is I want to talk about this guy right here. Black sheriff says if Black Lives Matter, they'd protest at abortion clinics. I'm definitely in agreement with that. It looked like the stories from a few years ago, but it makes sense right now. It makes sense because there are a lot of black babies being killed. I mean, think about it. If Black Lives Matter, a black life is a black life, regardless of if it's a baby, if it's a police officer, if it's someone making $200,000 a year, $20,000 a year, or $200 million a year. A black life is a black life. So my thing about Black Lives Matter is the fact that they pick and choose which black people they want to help, which black people they want to quote unquote stand up for. That's my issue. There are black babies being aborted all the time, but they're not in front of in any abortion clinics. What about when a black police officer gets shot, killed? They're not defending that. They're wanting to defund the police, but you got to remember, there are some black police officers. Am I saying all police officers are great? No. I'll probably say 99% of them are great. But the other 1%, that's the ones we have to take care of. So even during the riots and all of that stuff, a lot of those businesses were black owned and they were destroyed. So they don't care about those black people. They don't care about black businesses, obviously. They need to stop picking and choosing which Black Lives Matter. Maybe they should change it to Some Black Lives Matter. How about that? SBLM. Some Black Lives Matter. I think there'll be a more appropriate name for it. That's just me. Another thing I want to talk about is this. Oh man, this Oklahoma State football coach, Mike Gundy. He wore a shirt on a fishing trip that said OAN. I think it's One American News. It's basically One American News Network, and it's basically a far right group or far right news channel, and he was on a fishing trip with the shirt on, and I guess he took a photo and they saw the photo, and there's some players at Oklahoma State. I'm assuming they're black players, all of them. They took offense to it. This is getting crazy because I'm not about to let somebody tell me what shirt I can and can't wear. I mean, it's a Republican, like I said, a far right or Republican news network. So he has to basically give account for him being a Republican at the end of the day, being a conservative. That's what that is. Like you can no longer have the right to choose, being a Republican or Democrat. It's like you have to be a Democrat now. That's basically what everything that you see on CNN, on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever, they're basically telling you that you have to be a Democrat now. You have to be a liberal. But if you make any mention of anything, any kind of support for the Republican Party or being a conservative, all of a sudden everyone's offended. You have to take it down. You have to change shirts, like this. I have this shirt on. Why? Because I bought it because I believe in the Second Amendment. And I love speaking up about it. Not gonna make me pull his shirt off. It's not gonna happen because that's my right to choose. And most importantly for me, from a Christian perspective, there is nothing ungodly about it. You find me in the Bible where it says you don't have the right to defend yourself. Find that scripture for me because I haven't seen it. Now, there's some other things we should be talking about that's not biblical, that's ungodly. Those are the things we should be focusing on, like abortion, like pitting black people against white people. You know what I mean? That those things, yeah, let's talk about that. But as far as my right to be a Republican or a conservative, no. Or my right to bear arms, no. Come on. We have to do better. We have to do better. Also, this too, and I'm gonna put it up right here in front, so you may not be able to see my face, but I'm looking at this too. Saw this today. I found this very interesting, or interesting, depending on what part of the country you're from. It shows where the Republicans historically have been more in support of blacks. They've been anti-slavery more so than the Democrats have. The 13th Amendment, as you can see there, abolished slavery. 100% Republican support on that, but only 23% Democrat support on that. We forget about those little things because we make it seem like Democrats, they've been for black people forever and ever and ever, and Republicans have never been for blacks and minorities. The 14th Amendment gives citizenship to freed slaves. 94% Republican support, 0% Democrat support. But yet, everyone's in favor of being, of the Democratic Party right now. The 15th Amendment, right to vote for all. Republican support, 100%. Democrat support, 0%. Now I know certain things change a little bit because this is several, long time ago, several hundred years ago, but the party has not changed all that much. It hasn't. Because it seems as though to me, the Democratic Party, they're perfectly fine with blacks or minorities, living off the government. They're perfectly fine with that. They don't care too much about you getting food stamps or Medicaid or Medicare. They don't care about that. Free lunch program? Sure, let's do it. Now you're listening to me, you probably think, oh, well, you're saying that we can't help out people that are in need. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't get to the point where you're relying on that. See, one thing I know about the Republican Party is the fact that they don't want you to rely on that. They want you to get up off your butt and go earn something, go get it done. It's just the opposite for the Democratic Party. Do your research, you'll find it out. Like really, truly do your research and don't rely on what the media is telling you. So that's my spiel on that. What else I got for you today? I like this. I saw this earlier today too. Everyone is a Christian until it gets biblical. Oh, wow. That's huge because everyone wants to come out and say, God bless you and I love Jesus and, God is love. And that's the one that really gets me. God is love. Because yes, God is love, but he also laid down some laws, some commandments. Like Jesus said, if you love me, obey my commandments. We forget about that. It clearly says, Jesus clearly said that if you love me, obey my commandments. Which means if you're not obeying my commandments, you really don't love me. Regardless of what your mouth says, you really don't love me. And think about everything that's been going on the past few months. Protesting, rioting, destruction. More so the destruction. the rioting, black against white, police against civilians, Democrats against Republicans. Lots of hate going on. Where in that do you find someone attempting to obey Jesus' commandment? I think Satan come to kill, steal, and destroy. That's all that's been going on right now. A lot of killing, a lot of stealing, a lot of destroying. Which lets you know the enemy is for sure at work. And if you don't believe that, if you just accidentally pick up your Bible and actually read it, study it, pray on it, ask God for guidance, ask God for his godly wisdom, then you may see that. But I'm not here to preach at you. I'm just telling you. Anyways, that's I had something else for you guys. Let me find it. I don't know if I put it in here, but I found it awful strange that when all this was going on, you had Hillary Clinton in court. No one was paying attention to it. It wasn't really trending. It wasn't the topic of conversation. I find that very coincidental. And I think it was back on what they called it, Blackout Tuesday or whatever. That's when it happened. Very, very, a lot of coincidences. Like not only with Hillary going to court, which I just said, but also the coronavirus, also the lockdowns, also the protests, the rioting. People wanting to defund the police. There's not a coincidence also that this is all happening in an election year. No coincidence at all. I'll tell you this. The one of our biggest weaknesses in this country right now, you want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? Okay, you ready? One of the biggest weaknesses we have in this country is we don't think our leadership, our political leadership, is as corrupt as it is in other countries. Let me repeat that. We don't think our political leadership in this country, we don't think they are as corrupt as political leadership in other countries. And if the past few months haven't let you know that there's some corruption and some dissension within our leadership, not just the White House, because everyone's going to think about Trump, but the government too, the governors, Senate, Congress, the local government, judges and so forth. A lot of dissension, a lot of corruption going on because each has its own agenda. You know what? That just reminded me. Let me get back to this Black Lives Matter thing. The state of Illinois, the city of Chicago, predominantly run by Democrats, if I'm not mistaken. Mayor, governor, whatever. Chicago has one of the highest, homicide rates in the country, if not the highest. But it's all happening under Democratic control of that state. But they claim that Black Lives Matter, but yet they've done nothing to rectify that situation. 70% of the black people that were killed by the hands of another black person. But they've done nothing to rectify that situation. But yet they talk about Black Lives Matter. I don't get it. Like I said, they should rename it to Some Black Lives Matter. I don't know. That's just that's my opinion on that. And then you get into sports right now. A lot of people are missing sports. I'm one of them. Nah, don't get me wrong. I've found other things to do, more productive things to do. While there haven't been much sports other than UFC and maybe there's a couple more things, NASCAR or whatever. But sports, they have everyone's in a frenzy right now. baseball players not agreeing with the owners. You know, today the Houston Texans supposedly, and it's been reported. Let's put it that way, that some Houston Texans players have tested positive for the coronavirus. You know, it's been reported that Ezekiel Elliott and maybe some more Dallas Cowboys tested positive for the coronavirus. And you see, and I knew that was going to happen with Ezekiel. I knew it because a couple months ago he was on video having a party, whatever. And my mind right then, I'm thinking, yeah, at some point they're going to say this guy had the coronavirus. He could have shut himself up in the closet for a month and never came out, and they still would have said that he had the coronavirus. I mean, I knew it. I saw it coming. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, it's still looking at the statistics. It's still not much more, if any, or more than the flu. You see people around here wearing masks, and I'm like, my goodness, I've already got kicked out of a store for not wearing a mask. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I just don't believe that I need to wear it. And you know what? I was about to wear a mask today for my job, and for some strange reason, I couldn't even find a mask. I was like, you know what? To me, that kind of lets me know I don't need to be wearing it, because for every quote unquote health expert that says you have to wear a mask, you can find 2 to 3 more that said it's unhealthy for you to wear a mask. But because someone gets on CNN or MSNBC or ABC, whatever, and says, yes, you have to wear a mask, social distancing, we believe them just because they're on TV. There are many more experts out there that have been, biologists and chemists, and they disagree with what's being told on TV. And they've been in that line of business, or they've been, studying medicine or whatever for 20, 30, 40 years. But yet, because they're not on TV, or because their name is not Fauci or Gates, they have no credit. It's like they have no skins in the game, or no skin in the game. Even though they may have been studying this for 30 years, people ignore them because they're not on TV. I don't know. But that's just something I had to get off my chest today. All of that. And I'll definitely be back again this week. That probably need to set a time to on what days I'm going to come to you guys. But right now, I just come to you when something hits me. And thank you guys for watching. Once again, please subscribe. Another episode of Power of the Tongue. Because the tongue, believe it or not, is very powerful. So thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful night. God bless you, and stay prayerful.